Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the finals, the absolute finals of the ESL Go4Dota 2 competition. This is week number 2, and we have got Hehe United, the Hehe United, who we've cast numerous times over at the JDL, had great fun with that, going up against NOTROLL, whose semi-finals we caught, and who did an amazing Wraith King carry comeback against a very, very nasty IO Tiny combo that was coming out of their opponents. So I'm going to switch over to my co-cast channel. I'm going to be joined this match by David E. Stevenson on the co-cast, and Maestro is going to be running stats, I think. We'll see.
Channel switched.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hello, hello, hello.
So, what do we think about the picks and bans so far?
NOTROLL was an accurate name. They were not being deceitful.
NOTROLL, pretty accurate. I like that. I do like that, I got to admit. We are seeing a lot more mobility ban-outs than I'm used to seeing, though. The meta seems to have shifted slightly away from the right-clicks and the right-click buffs. So, like before, you'd get your Troll, you'd get your Sniper, and then you'd get Avenge and some other right-click buffer. I like the fact that it's... You were talking in the quarterfinals that it was maybe getting into a bit of a stale metagame. I think this is us breaking out of it a little bit, patch or no patch. We won't wait for iFrog. He can wait for us.
The Storm Spirit is still a very right-click oriented hero. You know, much more than I think people sometimes realize. Not that you know, but it's the overload comes from the attack speed, and Storms do build Daedalus.
Sure, that's true. That's very true. The Bat Rider pickup did very well in the previous game. No complaints there, really.
Unconventional so far.
Were you watching our NOTROLL semi-final?
Much of it, yes.
Right, because that was an epic story of carry Wraith King, and you know how I feel about those. Oh, but yeah, classic. Sorry, yeah.
No, it is absolutely classic support duo for the Wraith. But I was just saying, it used to be that Bat Rider was always countered by the Venge. It was, you know, you would never draft Bat Rider if Venge hadn't been banned, and if Venge hadn't been banned, Bat Rider was drafted, you'd always pick Venge. But more and more, I'm seeing teams just not draft the Venge. It's still a great counter. But it's interesting to see the meta sort of shift away from that.
Seconds to go.
I'm with you there. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind it as a pick now from NOTROLL, because it is still one of the best counters, and it's still a really good hero in the meta if you want to go for any kind of big right click, and you generally want them somewhere.
And it could be an offline Earthshaker or something, so it's entirely possible that he could pick it up. Unlikely, but possible, considering that they probably picked these support duo for their obvious synergy.
Yeah, hoping so. I'm thinking this will be sweet. Like, the fact that you can get the cold feet proc so easily with the fissure, for anyone who's not familiar with the combo, is great. Also, they're both very good at dishing out a lot of damage very early in the game, which is one of the reasons they're so deadly against the early game. One thing that I don't like about it, though, gotta be honest, is for the laning, let's assume it's an offlane bat, they've got nothing to shut down the offlane bat. They can nuke him down, but he is one of the few heroes in the game. You know, you almost couldn't get a worse hero for just being able to ignore fissure. Just Firefly. Goodbye.
Reserve time.
That's a bit of a problem. They the only way they get kills on bat is if they do get the cold feet proc, which is going to be hard without picking up a carry who's got another stun or a slow or something. NOTROLL picking up the Skywrath Mage. Love it. Just very strong support. They still need their lockdown, but it's very strong.
By the way, to answer one of the questions you had asked earlier, Matrice also has played for Rise.
You were listening. Thank you. Right, I knew it. I knew I'd been seeing him like really recently against one of these in one of these ESL tournaments, and that explains it a lot. Well, hello, Matrice. That makes a lot of sense. Puck and Void banned out for NOTROLL. Obviously, the Void is the other classic AA counter because the AA ult is just so good. It's just such an unwieldy sledgehammer to land. And the Chronosphere is exactly what you need. Puck for Hehe United. I think that might just be something they're fairly well known for playing. Is that for Nico Babies?
Dream Coil has this similar synergy with the AAL as well.
Oh, yep, absolutely. And the Spirit Breaker ban, which just makes me happy. It would be very annoying for the Bat Rider. You know, that's one of the things that Firefly can't get away from. Is very annoying for the Skywrath Mage because, well, you can't silence out a charge and Skywrath Mage is just squish. Do you want to talk about these next two? I've just got to quickly change something in the description.
No problem. So we've had a Lycan ban out. Not entirely sure what that's for, but that's probably relatively a respect pick for the Dire. Not a clear synergy available there. Gyro then picked up for the Radiant. This is a carry actually I really like to see. more and more of. It's he scales pretty well,
10
has great
seconds to go.
damage multiplication abilities, but it's his ability to fight early
5
on once he gets to level
seconds.
6 with call down and really contribute to a team fight in a very meaningful way. It makes him different from a lot of the relatively
Reserve
well-scaling
time.
hard carries. Of course, Missile is received a lot of buffs now. The Study Missile, as it's known, Homing Missile. The damage and stun is now actually something to really worry about. And when you have all these lockdown and setup supports in your Earthshaker, to a lesser extent the AA, there's definitely some synergy there. Gyro can now go middle because he can zone out really quite well with the Missile, but can still safe lane pretty happily and use it to zone out offlaners. And if he's not contested, he's got great abilities to farm and push.
Radiance.
Sand King picked up for Dire. Oh, can you double back?
Yeah, no, sorry, I agree with you completely about the gyro, and I was going to say I'm really glad to have you on the cast because you're a big gyro fan, and I want a big gyro fan here to sing his praises. But am I right in thinking that if he gets the Chilling Blast on the gyrocopter and then pops Flat Cannon, the damage amp would apply to everyone who's hit by that one right click,
I believe that is the case, yes.
like it does for the Weaver Germinate attack?
seconds to
That is
go.
crazy. That I think
Yes.
makes it. I'd really like to see it safe lane. Then I appreciate what you're saying about the mid, but
Yeah, it definitely could be either.
that gets him the kill on bat. And
just
homing
for the
missile as
record-
well, of course, great for chasing him down.
Reserve time.
I'm actually a little surprised to see. I think Gyrocopter is. I'm not like I would classify myself as a Gyrocopter fan, but I think he's a very good situational pick for when you need a carry that can scale well as a real hard carry, but can still fight early. He's great, which is why I was a little surprised to see him this early in the draft. I like to sometimes pick him up quite late in the drafts because he's sort of that piece that you can't quite find in several drafts. He's ranged, he scales, he can fight early. But it's interesting to see him picked up this early. So we'll see how they use it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, of course, is Gyrocopter is definitely your late scaler. I mean, he may be weaker now than he was like TI2, TI1 kind of metagame, but he scales. Nobody is arguing that if he gets 6 items, he will tear through your team like hot knife through butter, as Maestro was saying.
It's starting to get fun.
Yeah, I know, right? And so much magic damage coming out of NOTROLL, and the only thing that okay, Laguna, you get it up to piercing. You get it to the stage where magic resistance won't really do much, but
Or you get nags.
Yeah, I really like that Huskar pickup. You can ignore Epi. In fact, Epi in particular he can ignore because Epi does a huge amount of damage, but it does it in waves. So
Well, same with Skyrath's Mage's ult.
Very true,
Reserve
and same for a lot of Batrider's damage. Now that I think about it, it's a DOT on the Firefly. It's lots of little ticks.
Yeah.
So what do they pick up now for Dire to deal with that? Because I think dealing with Huskar now is what they've got to do, but they also need to pick up their position 1.
It's going to be pretty hard for them to outscale Hehe at this point, with Lina and Batrider as 2 of their cores. A lot of magic damage. This means that they're going to have to be able to take towers quickly. So they need a position 1 carry who is not focused on scaling to the late game, but can apply a lot of physical damage and take towers very quickly.
You know who I think they want?
Who's that?
As another option, I think the PL ban that we just saw from Hehe is a good idea, which responds to what you were saying. I think another way that NOTROLL can do it.
10
This is a gamble.
to go.
I don't advise it, but they could go for a Deucer. Because Huskar
5
hates Deucer.
seconds.
Because Huskar's whole thing is I'm going to get right in your face and leap straight towards you. Gyro, little bit iffy. AA, the blast doesn't affect Medusa as much as other carries because so much of her health is in her mana.
I would like to see either a Bristleback or a Clinks.
Right, you're thinking...
Probably the Bristleback.
Bristle could work. I could see some... I could see some Bristle. I mean, the problem is your safe lane position 1 Bristles on a tri-lane don't get their levels fast. So he wouldn't be resistant to Huskar until at least the mid-game.
Sand King would be in the jungle for the most part.
That's true.
Hopefully. So it wouldn't be as level draining as you might think. Skyrath can certainly roam and do things around the map, but not that your point isn't fair. But they need physical damage and they need to be able to take objectives. Unless they want to pick a position 1 prophet or something. I'm not sure that there's a better pick. Although I'm sure there probably is one actually.
Just had Go4Dota in the chat say that the primary target only, sorry, this is Gyro Flat Cannon, only the primary target would get Chilling Touch.
That may be the case. That may certainly be the case.
Yeah? Okay. I was wondering if I needed to send you over to Dota Buff, but that's okay. We'll leave it.
This Lycan ban has turned out to be a very good ban for the Radiant, because that's really who they want.
Ooh, the Nyx Assassin.
Dire
I like
Scape.
the Tide ban coming out of NOTROLL. I thought that made sense. Nyx Assassin certainly has a lot of prey here, 100%, and it's a great way to disrupt that Sand King's jungle. Actually, you know what? I was going to hate on it. No, I love it. I like the Nyx, and I very rarely say that. Also, it's another way of getting Sand King out of Sandstorm, right? Just pop Spike Carapace underneath it somewhere.
I wonder if someone like a Chaos Knight could actually serve
10
Hehe relatively well
seconds
here.
to go.
I mean, CK's push doesn't come online until level 11, really.
5
You don't want to pop that ult
seconds.
Yeah.
at level 1. But it's something. And it's certainly a nice way to set up for the
Alright,
Sand King
well.
epi. Lifestealer. Okay.
Yes, they do have the Batrider and the Sand King, and natural Blink Builders, of course.
Oh, and sorry, last thing I'll say during the draft, for the benefit of everyone who is tuning in, we have had a quick change in the rules off during the planning stage of this match. Because it has got a bit later than everyone planned, this is going to be a best of 1 finals rather than a best of 3 finals.
I'd get ready if I were you.
So, David, do you want to introduce one of the teams?
I will happily introduce our Radiant team. Playing for Hehe, we have Nico Baby on the Gyrocopter, Nihis on the Ancient Apparition, Unwept Honored, and what's the last? And Unsung is going to be playing the off lane, hopefully, Nyx Assassin. The Coon will be playing what will likely be a mid Huskar, and running on the team will be Coop as the second support on the Earthshaker.
And over on the Dire team, rotating some but not quite as many heroes over to this top rune. In fact, hold that introduction because we may have a bit of action here. Nyx is going to be rotating deep into the enemy jungle. I thought he'd be leading the rest of his team on a big warding mission to mess with that Sand King, but it looks like they are just going for kills, as Nyx is not carrying anything with him. Nihis rotating in though, with 2 obs. They don't have sentries, so yeah, they have not chosen to try and shut down the Sand King's jungle. Very aggressive obs up though. Dire, I'm pretty sure, going to be able to secure bot room for themselves. And probably no first blood? Probably no first blood. Lena's going to get Banzi, yeah, going to get the bounty on bottom.
Are we going to see
Huskar
an
going to get
aggressive
the
tri-lane?
bounty on top. I think we are. It looks like a Nyx mid. Let me just quickly introduce Dire before we get too far in. Creo J taking the Skywrath Mage. Sand King heading over to the jungle probably, but doing the block for the mid laner is going to be played by Numero Uno. Offlane Batrider going to be played by Slave. Lifestealer going to be played by Matrice. Matrice of Rise. I'm so keen on this game now. Hehe versus, you know, top new team with Matrice, and I'm keen. And finally, the mid laner going to be played by Banzi. Up against Unwept, Unhonored, and Unsung. I like that. I do like that name. No prisoners. And yes, it does seem like we're going to be seeing the aggro tri-lane coming out from Radiant here. Are you a fan of this?
Interesting. I'm not. I like aggro tries. That's certainly no secret. I am a little. I'm not sure how this Gyro's going to do against the Batrider, but they knew what the matchup was and they were happy with it. So we'll see how they handle it. But he's already has 6 napalm stacks on him, so he's not handling it that great.
I think what they might be doing is a strategy where you basically say, okay, Gyro's our position 1, but for the first 5 minutes we're going to treat him like a position 3. And we're going to give Huskar the levels he needs to be very effective, not really have to worry about farming against this Huskar. Then Earthshaker and AA turn into a roaming duo. With, I think, first priority being the
could be it.
That's my feel. Numero Uno taking down Unwept, Unhonored, and Unsung over on the mid. Banzi only just escaping with his life. Very well played there. Nice rotation from the Sand King. And we were too focused on top, David. Too focused on the pulling and the chaining.
I was focused on. I was completely off.
Nico Baby is taking a huge amount of damage. Of course, I mean, I think that the logic is Batrider with such low range, to actually go for a kill, even if he's got Lasso up, is going to require getting in range of Flat Cannon. And all Gyrocopter has to do is hit that button before the Lasso goes off, and at the very least, it's not an easy kill.
True, absolutely. I mean, this is just going to mean a slightly faster blink for Batrider. So that's the real cost. Maybe not so much. Gyrocopter probably won't die, but Batrider is going to get a lot more farm than I think he would have otherwise.
Absolutely. It seems like the Sand King is more jungle attached to mid than jungle attached to top.
I assume he's been stacking. Yeah, he's got to stack up in the jungle. Is kind of the focus there.
I'm just thinking, even with this aggro try though.
Yeah. I mean, Lifestealer's getting some farm, not a lot. And I'm sorry, Maestro, I actually missed that stat. I was looking at something else.
Lifestealer, 40% win rate in the professional scene, even less when played by tier 1 teams. So
yeah.
that's not a good.
It's not a ringing endorsement.
No, that it is not. Kupe thinking about the fissure there, but in the end just saves it. He's going to hold it, keep his mana. I know that feel, buddy,
Oh,
when you're Earthshaker and you have mana issues.
He wants to let it go.
Whoa, Matrice wanted to go in and farm a quick stack there to get his health up, but
Duke into AA. I was like, what did I do?
oh, and is this stack going to work? No, it's not. The Radiant Creep Wave gets up there just in time, and Matrice actually maybe a little bit too far forward, gets caught out by a very nice fissure.
Tango.
Beautiful tango through the trees. Gonna pop to avoid the Burning Spear's damage. Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, no, it's magic. For a second I was like,
Moon is likely saving
Burning
up for
Spears?
his lifesteal here. Not far at all. Fouls up now.
Banzi gonna pick up the rune here, so he's not really gonna care about that mana drain. In fact, I think Nyx would have been better to hold on to his mana there.
Yeah, I agree. But do we want to talk about this next matchup? Because just
Absolutely.
Thinking maybe the mechanical interaction here for anyone that is not obvious to them. So obviously, Lina, being a very intelligent hero, tends to build in items early. Nyx's mana drain will do more damage and drain more mana there. And then of course with Spike Carapace, Lina having a lot of sort of bursty abilities, he can return some of that damage and stun Lina when he sees the Dragon Slave or even Laguna Blade animation. So it certainly on paper makes sense, and he seems to be holding his own against Lina in a relatively tough lane. Almost got to level 6.
Absolutely. The question for me really is, okay, so Lifestealers, so this Nyx is going to hit 6, and then to be most effective, and really for the reason that he was picked in this team, he needs to go ganking. Who do they put mid?
Right.
Because they need to be someone who can stop this Lina from snowballing, and they also need to be someone...
Gyrocopter bottom.
Oh. Yeah, keeping an eye on that. Also keeping an eye on the Earthshaker rotating in on the mid. But yeah, that's gonna stop. So let's have a look at bottom. Nico Baby gets caught in the Earth Spike. And yeah, there's the flat cannon. As soon as they get close. And I'm not going to call it Earth Spike again. It is of course Burrow Strike. And unwept, unhonored and unsung, finished off on the mid by a combination of Tower and Lina Harass. Meanwhile, Matrice up on top.
The greedier team struggling a little bit here in the laning phase. At least kill-wise, but not necessarily farm-wise. Huskar is doing very happy, being happy farming.
Gyro getting the kill on that bat. That's very nice. Timing it perfectly as Sand King rotates out of lane. Disabled the clarity there quite nicely. Unfortunately, he's got nothing to stand up against Sandstorm, but Sandstorm's great for him because it's just going to push the wave beautifully under his tower. Yeah, it might have been a bit of a misplay. Matrice wanting to go on the Coon here, getting some right clicks in, but I think he was hoping that Huskar would be eating all the neutral harass. Did not work out that way.
Oh, here we go. Back on Huskar.
Open wounds, open wounds, open wounds. There it is. There it is, friends. And this is a very quick kill. Going to be going the way of Matrice. They can just get... There we go. I actually thought they might stop that for a second with the fissure or something.
It might not have been a very quick kill, but it was ultimately a kill.
It was.
And Sand King is farming their pull stack. And then that was a bit of clusterfuck right there.
Aye.
Okay, we'll go right back to it.
There is a lot of 3 heroes with a less than 45% win rate in professional Dota, and that's their 3 cores. That's not ideal. Yeah.
No, it's not. But I actually kind of like their draft.
Oh, you would.
You know,
Oh, Matrice taking a lot of right-click damage. He's got the magic immunity though, but they're going to have to dive. But they're going to have the Huskar life break in a second if they need to close the distance. Oh no, they're not. Still level 5. But the Burning Spear's DOT is enough.
Just about any draft with Huskar in it, I like.
It's an interesting one for Huskar. Like I like it. Yeah, if somebody else gets aggroed on, he can. He's got a nice gap closing distance if they want to try and bring the fight. If he gets aggroed on by the Batrider, there's at least some potential for him life breaking out. And Sanking almost finished off there by the Earthshaker, but not quite enough damage on the fissure. They're going to go for Creo J instead, doing huge damage here. Wants the right click with Nihis, but in the end just going to get chased off. And I think that retreat was a wise idea. More rotations coming up though. Banzee.
Oh, AA!
What jukes. What jukes.
Very clever hide in those trees. Because Batrider might swoop up? No. They might swoop down on the Batrider.
Yeah, he's got to be careful.
There's a region rune top. There's a lot of people that want this region rune. Makes you bottle up. Teammate, grab the region, pop it, and then bottle up the game.
Top's in trouble. The kill's actually a neutral kill. Only assist goal going out to the heroes. And yeah, I just looking at the Twitch chat, I don't. There was some call from the players to play best of 3. There was some call from the players to play best of 1. There was an admin call.
The admin did say best of 1 in the lobby before the game.
He did indeed, and yeah, we go with it. We go with it. There were a lot of delays today. I don't know what the full story is. And yeah, I hear you, Jersey. Like, flat cannon rocket barrage is like my Achilles heel when it comes to casting Dota. Matrice eats a life break. Kuhn with an armlet of Morrigan now with the tank he needs to really stand up to this. And a nice enchant totem there from QUP, but Sand King's come in to hold up the chase. Matrice is going to make it out. Question is, can numero 10? I don't think he can with Samstorm already being down. So Kuhn brought very low. Either going to have to find some heals, find some lifesteal, or get out of lane. Because he hasn't yet got a point in Inner Vitality.
He has no Inner Vitality or lifesteal. Quite a greedy build.
I gotta say, I don't like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Most builds of Huskar I see put, you know, there's a strong feeling that Inner Vitality is only when you're doing badly. But oh, I love it. Just
You're pretty good.
One little
point. 1 point wonder too.
Yeah, for when you're below 40% and you get that extra massive heal,
yeah.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
Gyro going really deep on this Batrider. Really deep. Nico baby, are you sure about this? No, he's not sure about this. Does get stunned out by number 10. There's going to be an epicenter as well though. Just needs to follow him, but Nico baby gets a TP out. Yes, he does. Epi down.
Wow,
but that could not have been more close.
Would have been enough.
I'm not sure there's anything Sankin could have done there, and honestly, I think it was a good play. Just, you know, when you're off by 50 damage, it's just unfortunate. Maybe if he'd called out for the bats, asked for at least a some kind of range damage, or the flame break to interrupt the TP. Holy moly, 208. That is big. Nice deny there from Benzie on the Lina. Don't let Nyx get a catapult. Oh, and the Spike Carapace misses.
Gotta bait up the Carapace.
Gyro gets another kill. I just noticed that on the minimap a second too late. Well played there from Nico Baby.
Nico Baby's he's bravado. He's backing it up. I guess you gotta give that to him.
Keep your eye on that one. He'll give us some treats, I can promise. Kuhn taking a lot of damage out on top as numero 10 and Creo J are coming in as well, but that's a lot of magic nuke for a Huskar. Especially a Huskar with armlet. And now he's going to go for numero 10 and just finish him off so quickly. Matrice now in trouble without the magic immunity. Pops a quick tango to get a nice juke through the trees, and actually he's got the distance.
Oh, he might get out.
Nope, they're going to get fissure. They're going to get fissure. Come on. No! Nice! That rage.
Dire's middle tower is under siege.
286 for the first hit. Yowza. So I was all focused on the gyro AA combo. I wasn't even close. Turned out not to even work.
Dire's top tower has been destroyed.
Nico baby just making it out of the bot lane. Dragon Slave doesn't quite have the range.
Huskar has picked up a lifesteal here, so
That is
he's on
great. That's really good news. Honestly, though, I still would like a point in that inner vitality.
Yeah, no, I feel the same.
Gonna drag
Creep is now
the
middle.
creep.
You may see a push here. A lot of dire heroes balled up. Oh, they're going on the third shaker.
And they've got him. I think they've got him. If that's Lena Yules, easy peas.
Radiant's middle tower is under siege. Dire's
Couple
top
of right
tower
clicks and a
is
kill.
under attack.
Of course, we all know that the true damage in that
Dire's
came
top
from the
tower is
Yules.
being attacked.
Top, bottom, sorry.
Murder spree.
There's that
Jeez.
gyro up. Making a
Nico,
difference.
baby. Should I just watch you? We've got an aggressive tri-lane going on. We've got all the heroes grouping around mid, but apparently Nico Baby
Dire's
just...
bottom tower
You gotta
is
watch him.
under siege.
Doesn't even matter. Another mana drain down on Banzi, so he's not going to be able to do much. Matrice gets out in a creep.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
And Kuhn,
Dire
bro.
has fortified its structures.
You got people giving you bottle charges. Get a point in inner vitality!
Dire's bottom tower has
He doesn't
fallen.
even want health.
Health is for suckers. The logical extremes of
Dire's
Huskar mean that
bottom
you want to be
tower
on
is under
0%
attack.
health. There's no way of avoiding it.
The way it is.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures have been fortified.
Rio J backs out of mid, just in
Dire's
time to
middle
avoid the
tower
fissure,
is
which would have got him
being
killed,
attacked.
so nice game sense there from him.
Ooh.
But he might just be in trouble here. We've got
Dire's
homing
middle
missile coming in
tower
as
is
well,
under attack.
but I think they're going to focus on the tier 1 here. Gyro using... That one's flat cannon, right, Jersey?
Dire's middle tower is
Right.
being attacked.
You got this.
No, god damn it, that was Rocket Barrage.
I believe.
Dire's middle
Madre de
tower
Dios.
is
I
under
don't know why,
siege.
it's those moves. This hero.
Dire's middle tower has been destroyed.
Batrider's the next target. Gyrocopter is not going to let him go that
Makes it
easily. The
fast,
homing
he knows
missile
like
is
that.
launched. And here we go.
Forces rotations.
Now, it looks like Dire are pretty much focused on the top. Beautiful AA ult. Gonna land as well. That's it. That's all they need.
Should be dead, yeah.
DOT, the shatter time on the AA ult. Beautiful play. Will another game be stolen? I mean, I feel all time with Gyro and Lifestealer is going to be a tricky stack
Yeah.
because they've been so in and out of metas.
They've
But
had
It's
very...
interesting to see them come back. I mean, they're doing their classic roles. You can't really say they're doing anything new.
Dominating.
Pop goes the next assassin.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
That's cruel. You know that's cruel.
Oh, it's a rhyme. Come on. But no, I think it's an interesting point.
Dire's
Gyro and
bottom
Lifesteal are
tower
definitely two
is
heroes that
under
have had long and storied histories in the meta. In lots of different... They have sagas. Compared to, say, a
Dire's
Huskar or even an
bottom tower
AA
is
who
being attacked.
have not been in the same role at various levels of prominence for quite as long.
Indeed. Now it kind of looks to me like Radiant need to decide what they're doing next. Is it just pickoffs with this little gang squad of Huskar plus its supports?
I mean,
That's
I
not a
think they
bad
can
idea.
outscale. I don't think they have a lot of pressure on them. I think they're happy to just take what's available, have the Nyx roam, keep their horse farming. Gyro's getting kills whenever they try to put any pressure on him. Keep the supports with the Huskar probably. Let the Nyx roam and let the Gyrocopter farm. Probably how I'd choose to run it.
Ooh, Slave, so close there to getting a beautiful lasso on Coop.
Radiant's top tower
QP.
is under siege.
Quep? I don't know what to call him here. Blink in from the Nyx, gets a stun as well. There's a fissure. Burning
Very
Spears to follow up.
strange.
Kuhn looking for a life break, not quite in
Radiant's
range.
top tower is
He just
under attack.
stood there and sort
It's
of
probably nothing
let
to worry
them
about.
see him and went in and out a few times. I'm not totally sure what he
Dire's
expected to
middle
happen.
tower
I
is
think he
under
thought he
attack.
was in cover for longer than he was.
Radiant's top tower
Okay.
is
Because he
under
was
attack.
kind of behind the trees, but I think he had
Yes,
actually
yes.
revealed himself
Oh, that
without
was a
realizing
great
it.
match. Dire's
Nico
middle
Baby joining
tower
the
is
team for the
under
big push on the
siege.
tier 2. This is what I meant.
Radiant's
I just
top
wanted to
tower
make
is
sure they had
being
a
attacked.
definite plan for what they do when they take objectives. They need to make sure they're ready to
Dire's
rotate.
middle tower is under attack.
Honestly,
Dire has
I'd
not
be
Fortify either.
structures.
There's no way they're defending this tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
like I'd like it if Hehe now were looking at Roche. Not necessarily taking it now, although it looks like they might be confident they can. But if not taking it now, then looking to take the tier 2 bottom, which is the last real problem. But nope, take it now it is. Nico Baby and Kuhn. This is all you need. And Kuhn at level 9, of course, is largely forced to take a point within a Vitality. I suppose he could have maxed Burning Spears. And this is beautiful fissure block. I can't believe I don't do that when I play Earthshaker and we Roche. I'm going to remember that. Keeping him blocked for the ranged carries to just hit him over it. Don't let the guy aggro. Yeah, that's more my kind of fissure. It's still keeping him blocked though. What am I missing?
I believe in you, Rumble.
So this is a Huskar Aegis. That's pretty terrifying. One of the better Aegis carriers in the game, I think. For the early game.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower has been destroyed.
And now you just say finish.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So it looks like it's sizing up for a tier 2 for tier 2 trade here. Dire have the numbers top, Radiant have the numbers bottom.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant's
Now
top
what
tower
happens
is
here?
under
I
siege.
think Radiant win. I think Radiant win hands down. That wasted fort before from Dire that you pointed out,
Radiant's top tower is
that made the
being
difference
attacked.
there.
That really hurt them.
Yep, Radiant just going to keep going. They say, you want to race us? Well, we're ahead, so sure,
Dire's
let's
bottom
race.
tower is under siege.
And now they're all up on high ground, they're in
Radiant's
position.
top tower is under
Yep,
attack.
and it's more a question of Dire have to rotate in to defend their own high ground. Like, they don't really have the high ground advantage here.
Huskar, I think, will just finish this tier 3 before Dire does absolutely anything.
Yeah. Sand King does have his blink. I'm surprised he wasn't, you know, charging up Epi and going in there. Or at least getting, yeah, the stun off.
All this magic damage is just...
Oh, Banzi in real trouble here. Going to be finished off by the Nico Baby cooldown. Not even a problem. Involved in every confirmed 3-2-2 game.
Good point, Maestro. It all makes sense now.
Hashtag 322.
Dire's bottom barracks is under attack.
Wow, this is
Dire's
huge.
bottom barracks has
You know,
fallen.
I thought that they wouldn't get the rags, but there they just got the rags. Single person Echo Slam for QP. And I like it. I'm not having a go at him there. There are times when it needs to be done. That was one of the times. Good on you, bro. Rotating straight on the mid will Bat Rider down for 26 seconds. Don't blame them. Matrice does kind of want to rotate and gets a couple of right clicks down. Ends up feeding the homing missile to the towers. So I like that, but all this time there's plenty of right clicks going down on his tier 3s. Kuhn caught out here by the open wounds. No healing allowed for Lifestealer as the AA ult hits. And Kuhn going to do some beautiful armlet toggling, covered there by the Nico Baby cooldown. But he's going to make it out, can just rotate down to bot lane, or go straight back in as we get life break down onto the Lina. Nice Yules. Kuhn stunned. Slave here. Why not take him to the fountain? I guess maybe they're worried they won't reach it, but bring him in range of those towers and secure the kill in the end. Unfortunately, not in time to save the tier 3.
No,
Huskar buyback. Don't think that was needed, friend.
Huskar, come on.
Well, I mean, is it the worst thing though? It's still a 4-for-4 fight if they want to take it now, and I think they're thinking, you know what?
I guess
we can, and like maybe we do.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what? I'll take that back. It was strategic because he immediately bought a halberd, which is not an item I think he would have bought if it was not a. Okay, we're gonna finish the game right now. Let's say let's win this game.
Sure.
All right. I take it back. I take it back. Goodbye back.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I'm wrong.
Getting the damage down. He's going for the melee. I don't love this because he can't die right now, so he can't be too aggressive. Cupid does drop his fissure there, but unfortunately Lifestealer, who is a real problem, had the magic immunity. Matrice is back out now, but without magic immunity, easy food for the Huskar. And this is just getting... you want rhymes? Thick and fast, they came at last. And more and more and more. And that's what's going on with the Radiant right now, because this is not even...
They would have taken the top racks, but they're still a tier 2.
Exactly. This is definitive, I would say. Hehe playing very, very good Dota. And yeah, Twitch chat saying, like, expecting Hehe to stomp. I mean, definitely, I think, the biggest name in the tournament. But this has been a good game. Like, I think NOTROLL kind of let it go a bit in the mid-game.
They have earned this victory. It's not like NOTROLL just didn't do anything.
Absolutely. Beautiful AA there from Nihis. He deserved that double kill. And Slave The last one left, which Ray didn't have their eyes on.
Huskar wants this Bat Rider if he can catch him, but he
I
cannot.
think you'd be better to try someone else. Oh no, QP!
I got it, and Huskar had already turned around.
Oh,
Trust your teammates, Ken.
there's some Steam lag going on right now because I'm suddenly getting messages that everyone's joining Dota. Evans Halberds bought in less than 5 despite having a 55% win rate. Yeah, I mean
it is typically purchased when it is a good item. It is a distinct situational item, but a fair point.
aren't a lot of items. I mean, I don't know.
Well, like Daedalus, for example, is on certain heroes sort of always a good item. There's no hero.
Oh, Lifestealer takes out the next assassin, so we do have a 4v5 fight going on up here on the top lane. This might be the edge NOTROLL need. It's certainly their last chance.
Dire structures have been fortified.
There's no hero whose sort of core item build, I would say, includes a Helvet's Halberd.
MP charged, blink. There's the stun. It's not going to be able to do much damage to Huskar though. They're going to need more, and Matrice, unfortunately, just gets nuked down. Skywrath ult perfectly timed. The 4-staff doesn't stop the light break, so Kuhn flies straight through the racks. Beautiful blink out from numero 10, but it's not going to be enough to save the racks, and GG is called.
Dire's top tower
Wow,
has fallen.
well played.
Well played, Hehe. Well played. Absolutely.
Less poorly than Dire, and is, I suppose, the winner.
So yeah, despite a maybe less than stumpy early game, that mid game, as soon as Nico Baby decided to rotate out of lane, was just...
I don't understand that a very heavy emphasis on magic damage. This is not like a magic damage patch. Nothing about a Huskar Earthshaker opening says let's pick all magic damage. I that's not the meta, guys. I'm not sure what to say.
3-2-2,
Well said,
3-2-2, 3-2-2. Oh well. Well, absolutely great play, guys. I am just double checking with the admins to make sure it's the best of one, but that was the call before the game, so I would assume
pretty
that
confident that's the case.
is what we're going for, unfortunately. Luckily, though, this is, of course, a weekly tournament, so hopefully we'll get Hehe back and all the other teams. And then I think the last weekend of the month, they do a big grand finals with slightly larger prize pools. But for now, good job to Hehe for winning a quick 250 euros. So, yeah, well played to them. Thanks very much for joining me, Dave. Well played to all the teams. And I'm just going to double check because I think I've heard back from the admins. Yes, that was a best of one. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Please do follow, subscribe as well. And see you next week. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely.
Ciao.